Willis.
We have
Might work.
Willis Watley up first. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good, it's good to see you. Alright, so we're just gonna kick this off. I know we all know you, but we still would like for you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Just start personal and then go into professional.
All right, well, like I said, my name's Willis Watley, born and raised in Talladega, still live in Talladega. Went to Talladega High School, graduated 1991, went to Jacksonville State to study criminal justice. While there, I had an opportunity as part of my curriculum, instead of taking classes, to go to the police academy. So for that semester, I went to the police academy as a student with the College of Criminal Justice. Graduated the police academy and went to work for the sheriff's department. Worked for them for a little over 8 years, and came to work for Sylacauga Police Department in 2002.
So how long you been with us?
Since 2002, been 22 years, almost 23 years.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and kick this off. So Willis, as a police officer, tell me what are some of your greatest strengths and weaknesses?
From my strengths, I consider myself to be fair. I try to treat everybody the same, no matter their position, whether they're a rookie or a veteran police officer. I try to put myself, if the decision's made, it maybe wasn't the right one, I try to put myself in their shoes to understand why they made that decision. It will help me understand their train of thought on why that decision was made. And then, basically,
So the ability to try to see things both,
try to
from
see
both
things
sides.
both ways, because in police work, a lot of times you gotta make decisions right.
So what would you say your biggest weakness is?
The biggest weakness would probably be, I have a hard time separating work and home life. I carry, work home with me a lot, because I am passionate about the job. I've been in it over 30 years, so I'm definitely passionate about it. And, these cases that we work, I go home, think about them and worry about them and think of things I should have done this. I just have trouble turning work off sometimes.
Okay. So what is your greatest professional achievement?
Making up to lieutenant right now. I completed the law enforcement executive training. Got my degree in criminal justice, and I've had a very good career with disciplinary actions that have resulted in any kind of suspensions or anything. And I've got a good work ethic. I've got right now almost 11 months, I believe. I might not be exact, but sick leave saved up. I enjoy the job and enjoy advancement and moving on up.
Sounds good. So if hired as police chief, tell me what would be your first, I guess, 100 days. So in the first 100 days, what would be your short-term goal, and tell me something that you would like to be implemented long-term.
The short-term goal, I would like to try to, get out. I've been in investigations for the past, maybe 10 years or so, and one of the biggest things that we run into, and it's the way the world's gotten now, I believe, is nobody wants to talk to police. They don't want to. And one of the things that I would love to get out would be to reach out to some people in the community, y'all included, would be to and get them involved and give them some instruction on what we really go through. We see good and the bad of police, but let them know what we really go through, and let them know we're doing our best. But we've got to have the community to help us, and that's all y'all are elected from your respective districts, so y'all apparently know about your people in those districts, and keeping y'all informed, and then getting if you have to get church pastors involved, and just let them know that it's okay to help. We need help. That's the biggest thing right now, is I would try to work on the community.
So what are some things you would try to put in place, or some things you would try to post or do to get the community more involved?
Well, when I first came to Sylacauga, we had a community liaison officer, basically. We went out and set up neighborhood watches, that kind of thing. But You know, you've got leadership Sylacauga, get out and explain to them, let them know, you know, what our day-to-day problems are. You know, nobody really understands what the problems are, and the fact that people are scared to talk to the police, you know, that kind of thing. Get out and just speak to the civic groups and just get the community to know a little bit more about what's going on our end. You know, they know what's going on their end because they all talk to each other. And try to get them to let them know that it's okay to talk to us. It's not snitching. It's not betraying anybody. It's doing the right thing. You know, we run into a lot of things with these, you know, crimes we're having. You know, people's got cameras everywhere, but all of a sudden they don't work. You know, and people are just scared to get involved. And I just want to let them know that, you know, it's not snitching. It's not. It's helping. And that's the community. They got to help. They got to help us.
I know it's scared to get involved until it's at your front door.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there. But what about long term? What are some things you think we can, put into place long term that would, help our police department if you were hired as police chief?
One of the things I would really like to get started, and I would, you know, not being able to be a part of, you know, of how, you know, hiring and all that, because of, you know, being a lieutenant, but I would like to start with trying to get some part-time cold case detectives working. There's a lot of people that, you know, have retired, that have worked homicide, especially up in the Birmingham area, that's worked homicide. I carry all of our evidence to the lab, and I see the, you know, the lab technicians from other agencies come in, Birmingham and all them, and, you know, there's an officer retiring, and I'm going to work with so-and-so to help evidence and all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, there's a Chief Anderson with Talladega College, retired from Birmingham, you know, homicide, and, you know, I'll talk to him a little bit. He, you know, I'm sure I can use him as a resource to help recruit, you know, somebody to come in, you know, a few days a week and do nothing but work on these homicides and cold cases that we're getting, because, you know, the way the police department is and the way it is, we're short-staffed. You know, we still have to handle all the credit card frauds, we still handle all the theft of properties, we're still handling everything on top of, you know, the homicide. And I think it would be, I would love to see, you know, some cold case detectives come in, that's all they did is work on that. And there's resources, the Center for Best Police Practices, JSU's got a retired SBI agent, and he'll help out with cold cases. But, you know, he's helping out the whole state too, so, you know, just get other eyes on these cases, and do that. I would like, that's a long-term goal I would like to.
Sounds good. All I can think of is we're getting our first 48, our own very own first 48. That's what comes to mind. So I'll let somebody else. I know Nate.
What leadership style would you have when managing a team, and how do you ensure your officers are motivated and effective?
Well, my leadership style would be to empower the officers, to let them know exactly, you know, what I expect of them, and give them the tools needed to do what they need to do and to do their job effectively, and know that, you know, as long as they're following the, you know, policies, and they're following within their guidelines, that, you know, I'm gonna have their back 100% all the time. If they go above, you know, do something they're not supposed to do, they're gonna have to pay the, you know, consequences for that. But I believe in empowering and, you know, being in communication. That's a big thing, is just letting the officers know, you know, whether it's a new one that's come on, let them know what each division goes through. You know, let them know, you know, stuff that you know, investigations goes through, and then let them know what the administration division goes through. Because when I went as lieutenant in administration, I had no idea. You know, I didn't understand if I needed a pair of boots, I think they just ordered. You know, I didn't know you had to get a purchase order. I didn't know you had to. There was more than just, you know, getting on the phone and ordering it. Let them know, you know, how each department works. I mean, you know, that's got a lot of questions answered. And if you get the officers involved, if you get, you know, like a drone program that I'd like to see get started, and, you know, different programs and get officers involved in those, and that's going to improve morale. Get them out. There's some officers that have expressed an interest in, you know, speaking to school groups, and I think that's a big thing to help with recruitment, getting into schools, so that we're not seeing, you know, bad folks in the schools. We're go in there and we smile, laugh, and cut up with them, and, you know, get in there and teach, you know, some driver's ed, you know, education. I went to traffic homicide investigator school, and a lot of the films we saw were old, you made up films, training films, and, I'd like to show some, accidents, of course, not with the victims, but the cars and everything and pictures we got here to let them know that it can happen here. It can, it's not just on TV and this and that. And just let them know that communication is the big thing with, helping improve morale.
Yeah, so currently, what changes would you like to make to the department's policies to kind of improve officer accountability and transparency?
Well, I know right now, right before Chief Johnson left, I think Interim Chief Buse is working on new policies now. So the ones that I've looked at, the policies will be there to hold the officers accountable. It's just, we've got to make sure that the supervisors are holding them accountable. And, there's a chain of command set up that needs to be followed. And if you start holding supervisors accountable for, maybe paperwork that's not correct, or, issues that's, should be corrected at a sergeant level, not make it up to a chief level, start holding accountability and making sure that they know the policies. I think the city's got some good policies to hold officers accountable.
Okay, well, with all your different positions you've had in your days in law enforcement, what's your experience with emergency preparedness? How could you ensure the department's ready to natural disasters, large-scale crisis, things like that?
Unfortunately, we hadn't had any long, large-scale disasters, but we've had training through the EMA on the incident command stuff, and just, I've had a few trainings on it, that you just get in there and make sure that you have, training's one thing, you get in there and make sure that the officers know what needs to happen, should a tornado, we have tornadoes in this area, to let them know that the first thing the officer is to make sure he's safe when the tornado's coming, because he can't do any good if he's hurt, but, let them know the areas he needs to get to make sure that, everything's fine, set up a command post and, relay, if we need help through FEMA or anybody like that, get in touch with our EMA and get them help. We need help from the sheriff's department, Jonesboro, any outside agency, get in touch with them. And, I think training the sergeants or the corporals or everybody, if there's not a sergeant working, and they can get the ball rolling until the other supervisors can get there and get it going.
From your perspective of 23 years of service, what do you think the biggest opportunity is for the Sylacauga Police Department?
Right now, Sylacauga's got a lot to offer. I mean, we're getting good equipment. We got a lot of, getting our pay is comparable, if not better than other agencies. And I was, once, COVID hit, everybody had a hard time hiring, and we're just now started trying to build back up. I would like to see, like the community liaison officer, I'd like to get, different things for the officers to get out in the community. There's some that at one time expressed wanting to get on bike patrol for, one thing for the physical fitness, and, you got Broadway and Norton and all that up in here, during the, nice weather, they can get out, just ride the roads and be seen that way. That, being seen is one of the biggest deterrents that a police department can have. I think Sylacauga's got, now that we're able to start recruiting some and, get it out, I think we've got, I know we've got the potential to really grow and become a department that, like when I came to work here before all this here, couldn't get hired at Sylacauga, didn't have turnover. So we've got got a chance coming.
I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
I'm done.
What steps would you take to reduce crime rates in our city?
But let's take it back on the, just get the community involved. I think I just, like I said, with COVID, when it kind of hit, everybody just kind of standoffish, and, I think getting back out there in the community and making the community aware of what's going on. I talked about a shooting we had in the gas station, and the lady didn't even know we had a shooting. So, I mean, it should be, it should be out there, and, community. There's more eyes in the community than there are in the police department. And if you can get them willing to help, then that's a big step. We've got the tip line, and then we've got Crime Stoppers that they can report anonymously. And that's they utilize it a little, but not much. I just need to we need to get the word out there that it's there and that it can be used.
Yeah.
How do you approach modern challenges like mental health crisis, homelessness, substance abuse, and their impact on law enforcement?
It's got a big impact on law enforcement, and the way to deal with mental illness is training. We've got places here that could give training. I've been to one of the trainings they've offered, and we got in-house training that we have, and that would probably be a good thing would be to get them in here and train us, because a lot of people, including myself, most of the time don't know what to look for. You've got signs of life for a diabetic, and I know that's not a mental illness, but a lot of times you'll think that somebody's got low blood sugar is drunk. You're gonna treat them like a drunk. You're gonna bring them in, blow in the machine, and they're gonna blow zeros or whatever. But you just need to educate and you need to train you guys what to look for on the mental illness, and how to handle it, establish somebody to call with a mental health that can help you deal with it. You may know what to look for, but we're not trained to, not qualified to deal with it actually. So and just know who to call and how to deal with it.
Okay. I have a couple more. So what are your views on body cameras and other forms of accountability?
Oh, I'm all for body cameras. If I'm not mistaken, I was the first one with the sheriff's department to get an in-car camera in my car. And I fussed and fussed and fussed because I didn't want it, because somebody watching me, and after I started using it, and if you ever got a complaint on you, it's right there on body camera, and I can't imagine working, patrol shift without a body camera, because it holds the officer accountable. He can say, I didn't say so and so, well, just to watch and find out. And then it also, when the civilian says, hey, this officer was mean, he did this, and that, you're just to watch it. So I think the majority of the officers are very pleased with body cameras, and I think they play a very good role.
All right, so I just got a couple more. So, please describe one of the most challenging situations you've ever encountered in your career, and how did you handle it?
Are you referring to like a call that I went on, or?
Yeah, something like maybe something that was very challenging for you. It could have been a call you weren't used to responding to.
Right before I came to work for Sylacauga, I was still at the sheriff's department, and actually called in Odina, and ended up with the Sylacauga police officer being shot, and another one hurt, that came to back me up. And, that was, I feel like we handled it very, very good, that night, when I was able to get back up all the way from the state to Shelby County. We had to get Officer Kidd, you remember Willie Kidd, when he got shot. We were standing in the road and right beside each other, and they started shooting, and he got shot. And we were able to get him and Officer Lawson, loaded in a vehicle, and got him to safety, to the ambulance, and to the hospital. And it's just those kind of situations. That's what you're referring to.
And then I just got one more. So since you've been at Sylacauga, I guess, or in any police department, have you ever implemented or suggested a policy and procedure that made, have you ever suggested a policy or procedure that was implemented into the department, for everybody else to use? Like, it could have been anything, maybe some training, something you decided that we needed to do that we weren't doing, and now we're doing it because you decided on it.
That's a tough question.
It's okay.
I don't know if any policies that we're responsible for. Like I said, I've been in investigation probably a little over 10 years, and that's my thing. That's what I enjoy, and been able to, like, for crimes we got going certain areas, let the investigators know that they got adjustable hours. If they need to come out and work at night, that's fine. So they know they can do that and everything, but I don't know of any policy that I've been responsible for.
So one more. So, and I know you're in investigation, and you are here because you would like to be police chief. So how do you distinguish relevant information from details you might not need in an investigation?
But we always, you know, just about every interview we do, we record. And, you know, going to the scene, we know the scene, we get a general idea just from walking up there what's happening. And, you know, we've had people come in and tell us, well, I know how I was there, and they tell us, you know, all this different stuff, and we're like, that wasn't even there, that wasn't. So, you know, you can kind of tell somebody's just wanting to be a hero and tell, and then you can, you know, somebody comes to you and tells you that, you know, the victim, you say, was shot 3 times, but that hadn't been put out yet, so you know that they probably got a probably good working knowledge, and you probably need to take what they say. Good.
Well, I don't have any more questions. Do you guys have any more?
That's it.
Well, thank you so much. We, appreciate you for coming down tonight, and we appreciate your interest in taking the time out to apply to be our new police chief,
I
so,
appreciate it, and I know I'll do a great job, you and the citizens. Appreciate y'all.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have,
Ron's in the hallway.
Rondell. You doing all right tonight?
Yes, ma'am, and yourself?
Good, pretty good. So, Rondell, again, I know everybody here knows you, but could you just give us a little bit, tell us a little bit about yourself? You can start, personal and just go into professional.
Sure. My name is Rondell Mears. I am a graduate of Sylacauga High School. I am married to Jackie Mears. I have 5 boys, 5 girls. I'm a veteran of the United States Navy, where I served 8 years on board submarines, navigating nuclear ballistic missile submarines. I have 6 nuclear ballistic missile deterrent patrols under my belt, average of 85 to 90 days out at sea at one time. I have been a law enforcement officer for 32 years. 3 of those years with the Cali County Sheriff's Department, 29 years here at the City of Sylacauga. I am currently the captain assistant chief for the past 8 years. I am a certified law enforcement executive through the Alabama Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission for the past 4 years. I am an FBI certified hostage negotiator. I am an immigration counselor, and I can keep going on and on and on and on, but I won't.
Well, thank you for that. So we'll go on to the next question then. So what are some of your, greatest strengths and weaknesses?
Greatest strength is my sense of empathy and putting myself in someone else's shoes. I know they say you don't know a person until you walk a mile into their shoes. You don't necessarily have to walk a mile. You just need to be able to understand, be compassionate, and then go from there. Weaknesses, I am very specific oriented to get the job done. Sometimes I'm impatient where I'll do it myself. I have to work on delegation. The only thing matters to me is to get the job done and move forward.
So what is your greatest professional achievement?
My greatest professional achievement? Well, I would say, and I'm not gonna go at length at it, but I will say, one point in time I was in Food Max in Talladega, okay? And I had my 8-year-old daughter with me, and I had a gentleman eyeballing me over to the side. Well, he walked up to me, and I'm like, in my profession, you meet a lot of people. You don't always remember them, but you can guarantee they're gonna remember you. Well, he walked up to me, eyeballing me, and I did my daughter like this, put my hand on her shoulder. He says, "Hey, you don't remember me, do you?" I went, "No." He said, "You put me in jail." And as I done my daughter like this, "Oh, really?" He says, "Thank you. That was the best thing you ever could have done for me. You put me on the right path. My children are happy, and I'm at home." Well, of course, I felt good about that. Because, see, when I became a cop, I wanted to save the world. Then when I realized I couldn't save the world, I said, I'm going to try to save a people. Well, opening your eyes, I said, maybe I can just save that one. And if I can save that one each and every day, I put the badge on and come to work, then I've done what I'm supposed to do. Oh, by the way, I kept my daughter back here too. You never know.
So my next question is, so if hired as police chief, what are some of your long-term and short-term goals? and like I asked, Willis, just say like in the first 100 days, what is something that you would like to see happen or change? And then we would like to know what your long-term plan is.
Well, what I would like to do is to get the community more acceptance of what we do and how we do it and why we do it, okay? Get them more engaged with us, put a big point on community policing. A lot of people don't agree with it, but it's a start. It's where you need to go. I would like to get the diversity in this city, no matter who you are, where you come from, what you look like, what your job is, or what's in your bank account, that we're all the same and we all can be the same. I like to bring the department technologically advanced. I've attempted to do that in the past few weeks I've been interim. I would like to get where we are more helping out socially instead of making that arrest the first thing that we do.
What leadership style do you adopt when managing a team, and how do you ensure your officers are motivated and efficient?
Well, most police agencies, 3 styles of leadership: authoritarian, laissez-faire, and transformational. I am transformational. What I mean by that is that everything I say or do may not be the perfect thing. So you bring everybody in together. We all discuss it, we all look at it, you make a proper plan, and you go forward. Now, if you properly motivate your people, and by bringing them into the plan, that helps. Once they're motivated, it also motivates the community too, because you show the community that you care. And that's what we're here for, to serve and protect everybody.
So I know you're already sort of been working on this, but, you know, what changes in the department policies would you like to improve officer accountability and transparency?
Well, what I just completed Monday was Lexapol, in which y'all financing, I thank you for. As you know, Lexapol is the standard for America with a lot of police departments. Instead of you having this and he having that, you're all going by the same thing with a pool of lawyers. So we got that completed Monday. We'll start issuing next week. What I want to do is I want to build a public trust, okay? And let the public know what you see happening out there is not seriously happening here. And if we could build a public trust in us, and we too now trust in the public, we could solve some of these crimes that have been lagging behind. And we can move forward and make Sylacauga the way it's really supposed to be.
My last question, what is your experience with emergency preparedness, and how would you handle that when it comes to Sylacauga and after disasters, crisis, things like that?
I am a graduate of all the national incident management systems through the Federal Emergency Management Agency. I've had all that training, went through the mock exercises, and most importantly, because you can't always remember everything, I got the books, so I can open them in.
From the perspective of your long career with the Sylacauga Police Department, what one big opportunity is out there that we should pursue?
One big opportunity, to move the police department somewhere else after our third flood in 2 years. But other than that, sorry, I was told not to say that. Other than that, when I came here, this is a 50-man department. When I leave, I would like to see it the same. Ms. Janine Crawford, Civil Service Board, one of the things she said was she doesn't see cops in the neighborhoods anymore. Well, everybody, when I started, everybody wanted to be police. Now, nobody wants to do it because they don't trust us. Need to change that. I can't change it out there, I'm gonna try to change it here. I also want to get a cop in every one of our schools. The reason we don't, and somebody came to me last week, why don't you have somebody in all of our schools? Because we don't have all of our department manned. In order to facilitate that happen, we need to get more people in. So there's a lot to do, Mr. Perriman. We just got to start to get it done. As interim, I'm limited. I have to answer to him, I have to answer to her, and I have to answer to HR. As chief, get the job done. on my own.
What's your, plan to recruit officers?
Okay, and I'm not evading that. I've already had some potential candidates who are willing to come, depending on how this process goes. Okay. I don't tell these people to come work for the city. I tell them to come work for me. Okay, and you work for me, then I'll work with you. And everybody is taken care of. That's as far as I can go with that. Sorry.
I know you went into this a little bit, but can you just go into it a little bit more? So what steps would you take to reduce crime rates in our city?
That's a multifaceted plan. You have to do reform, okay? You have to get community policing going. You have to get out in the schools. You have to get out in the organizations, local organizations. And the biggest thing, see something, say something. See, the days of Sherlock Holmes with the magnifying glass looking at the rock is over. It ain't like that no more. You got to be technologically advanced, and the people out there has got to help you.
So my next question, what are your views on body cameras and other forms of accountability technology?
It works both ways. Not only do body cameras show what happened and transparent, it also shows what it said that officer did that didn't happen. I have more complaints about officers, and as soon as you tell them, let's watch the body camera, it changes. It keeps both sides on even ground.
Okay. So please describe one of the most challenging situations you've encountered in your career as a police officer.
33 years, a long time, Mom. Okay. Night shift sergeant. Wreck on Highway 280 across from Alex Food Mart. SUV went over the side of the bridge right there, landed upside down by the railroad tracks. When we got down to it, the back end of it was in the mud, okay? Cut the seatbelt off of the driver, and the first thing she says is, "Where's my child?" What? Where is my child? You look at the back of the car, remember I said it was in mud? Well, we got back under there and we dug and we dug and we dug. We got that child out and we saved that child's life. There's a lot of them out there don't make it in wrecks, but that will live with me forever.
Wow. I'm sorry.
I can tell you one about the military. You want to hear that one too?
I don't know. I don't know. I almost didn't make it through that one. I don't know. So let me ask this. So, please describe a situation or suggestion you made lead to an improvement in our precinct.
Here at the police department, again, we need to become more technological advanced. Trying to do that already by putting in the flock cameras. The recent second assassination attempt on President Trump, the reason that guy was caught so fast, because of the same cameras I'm trying to bring to your city. Okay, that's how they got him. That's a start. Rome wasn't built in a day. I just went through this budget process. Oh my God, y'all have a whole bunch of people asking you for money. But that being said, it can be done.
I got one more question. So, what are your plans for keeping officers motivated, keeping the morale up?
New cars, new equipment, new standards. You know, you asked to do this job, then do it. If you can't do this job, don't want to do this job, go somewhere else. I don't mind telling you going somewhere else. But we're here for a mission. We're here to make Sylacauga safe and keep it that way. And that's what we're gonna do.
Amen.
I don't have any more questions for you guys. All right, well, we want to thank you so much for coming out tonight, and thank you for your interest in becoming Sylacauga's police chief.
Thank you.
All right, guys, it's 5:02. Do we need to take 5, or do you want to go right into the court session? Are we good? Everybody good? Show of hands.